Day 20, Solubility Product. Today we're talking about heterogeneous equilibria. All right, heterogeneous means different phases. All right, well, why are we going to talk about this? Well, some salts, and when we say salts, what's a salt? A salt is any ionic compound. Some salts are almost insoluble. So let's look at three salts. When we talk about solubility, talking about how much dissolves. So let's look at KOH, potassium hydroxide, sodium chloride, and calcium carbonate. So now, this is for every 1,000 grams of water. So in 1,000 grams of water, my question to you is, how much will dissolve? So for potassium hydroxide at 25 degrees Celsius, of course these are always at 25 degrees Celsius in our examples, 1,430 grams of KOH dissolves for every 1,000 grams of water. That's quite a bit. 357 grams of sodium chloride dissolves per 1,000 grams of water. However, only 0.008 grams of calcium carbonate dissolves for every 1,000 grams of water. That's a lot smaller, right? That's 8 milligrams. All right, so what do we have here? Calcium carbonate is generally thought of as an insoluble salt. However, to a small degree, it does ionize. All right, it does ionize. All right, a little bit, just a little bit does. It's not zero. So we have a new K, K, SP, and S is solubility, P is product. Because if we write the equilibrium constant expression, this will be equal to the concentration of calcium 2 plus times the concentration of carbonate. We do not put the solid in the expression, right? So this solid, this calcium carbonate, does not go on the bottom because it's a solid. All right. So what happens is, as a result of this, there are very low concentrations of ions in solution. However, what does dissolve behaves as a strong electrolyte. And of course, that means it conducts electricity well. However, it's not there's very low ions in solution. All right, so let's review real quick. There are soluble ions, right, and insoluble ions. These are just some general solubility tricks, right? So, sodium and potassium, pretty much soluble. Nitrate, pretty much soluble. Ammonium is pretty much soluble, and that's NH4 plus, not NH3. All right. Okay. Also, a lot of times chlorate, perchlorate, and acetate, they generally make soluble salts. Insoluble salts, typically carbonates, phosphates, oxalates, chromates, sulfides, oxides, and hydroxides. Now, obviously, if I have sodium with any of those inside, sodium carbonate, it's going to dissolve. Sodium oxide, sodium hydroxide, going to dissolve. But those in general, if we're not with one of those group 1 metals, we're pretty much insoluble. So those are your general rules.